It's about that time. What's good, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel. I'm LotusAsakura, the one who never knows best, and in today's video, bring you guys a manga haul. And you know, it doesn't compare to what my previous one was. I think it's already been nearly a year. I want to say like 9-10 months or so since my last haul video, and that was honestly my biggest haul video ever because I bought the entirety of One Piece, the quick lore behind that in case you missed out, you knew around here, whatever. I did a subathon on my Twitch stream. We hit the maximum goal, which was for me to buy and read every single volume of One Piece. I ain't gonna lie, last several months I've been slacking on that, but as of this past week or so, I've been getting back on my grind. So quick little update on that real quick. I'm currently on volume 40. You know, I have been reading a lot lately. Like I said, these last few days I've been getting back on my grind. So right now, Luffy and the crew just made it to Ennie's lobby. They're trying to rescue Robin because, you know, she's been kidnapped, or I guess kind of one of her own accord as well. And they're trying to bring her back. So we're nearing the end of Water 7, it feels like. And then what's the next? I don't even remember what the name of the next arc is. The Thriller Bark? I don't know. But we're getting close to the end of Water 7. It feels like probably a few more volumes left of that. And yeah, but it's, you know, I don't hate it. I don't love it. It just is what it is. It's cool. I think for me, the biggest thing with One Piece is just like, you know, being able to be part of the conversation now moving forward and having an opinion on a lot of it, which I didn't before just because I wasn't familiar with enough of the material to like speak on specific things, characters, plot lines, whatever. But it's interesting reading it just because like this is such a cultural like phenomenon and such a global like thing when it comes to anime and manga and everything, like such a important part of the medium that, like, you know, it does feel good in that sense to have it as part of the collection and to be experiencing it now, just in terms of how much I'm actually enjoying the characters in the world and everything. It's just so for me, you know, but it is what it is. We still have a lot left to go, but at 40 volumes in, we're finally starting to make a decent dent in that. If you're curious like for some more specific thoughts or like opinions or anything like that, I do have a thread on Twitter that I like hashtag with Lotus Reads One Piece that I do update from time to time with my thoughts and opinions on characters, scenes, whatever is going on in the story. It's been a minute since I updated it, but we're about to get back to that because like I said, I have been reading again lately. But yeah, today's haul is not going to compare to that because we had over 100 volumes of One Piece and then like another 100 volumes of stuff on top of that. I think there was like Bleach and Blue Box and Frieren and maybe some Spy Family and like a whole bunch of stuff. And you know, we got a decent little collection today, but it ain't no 200 volumes. I'll go ahead and tell you that. That being said though, we're just gonna go ahead and jump straight into it. And I think the first series I want to show you guys is actually Boruto 2 Blue Vortex. I could have sworn this was Boruto Twin Blue Vortex. Is it called 2 Blue Vortex on the Shonen Jump app too? No, it's 2. Has it really been 2 this whole time? I could have sworn it was Twin Blue Vortex. What type of what do they call it? The what's it called? Mandela. What type of Mandela effect going on here? I could have sworn this was called Twin Blue Vortex this whole time. I'm tripping. Anyway, Boruto is a series that y'all all know about for better or worse. Whether you're reading it or not is another thing. Whether you like it or not is another thing on top of that. I like Boruto. I say it all the time. I think the series has a really bad reputation because the anime is really bad publicity. I think the manga is a significantly better experience and story than what the anime provides and offers. Even though like it does cover the manga, it doesn't at the same time. And the Twin Blue Vortex stuff, it was definitely called Twin. I'm still calling it Twin. It sounds cooler. The Twin Blue Vortex stuff is really good. I'm not up to date. I always fall behind with ongoing series and I binge and I catch up and I fall behind again for a while and then I binge and catch up again. And yeah, I think at this point, volumes 2 and 3, maybe even 4 are out by now. I know for sure 2 and 3 are out, but I haven't picked those up yet. I've had some of this stuff sitting here for a little bit and then I got some new stuff in. I was like, you know, let's go ahead and knock out a haul video. And also, by the way, I might have a special prize for some of y'all if you stick around long enough in the video. Details on that later on. Stick around. But yeah, I like Boruto. I'm going to continue to collect it. The world of Naruto is probably always going to get money from me. So we've got that. We've also got another ongoing series that follows a very similar pattern of behavior for me where I read it, you know, and I fall behind, I binge and I catch up and then I fall behind. And that is Kagurabachi. And here we have volume 2 of Kagurabachi. And I think 3 and 4 and maybe even 5 are out at this point. So I've got to go ahead and grab those. But I like it. We've talked about Kagurabachi before, you know, Chihiro trying to get back his father's swords, everything like that. If you haven't read this, I like it. If you think you have similar taste to me at all in manga, I recommend it. You know what I'm saying? This one's always funny though, because like people are calling this like an industry plant, which to me is like, it's funny But like you could say that really about like anything in Shonen Jump, couldn't you? At least like all the modern stuff. Like isn't all the modern stuff in Shonen Jump an industry plant? You know what I'm saying? When you really think about it, it's all like manufactured by the industry and then like promoted and like pushed with like the same tropes and like types of characters and storylines, and you know what I'm saying? Like it's yeah, you know what I mean? It's like K-pop. That's just me. I guess the difference would be is that like it's not organic in terms of like how they promote it and market it and how it like comes together, whatever. Which I don't really think this is like genuinely like that, where it's like they Shonen Jump themselves went out of their way to like manufacture and create this and then promote this as the next big thing or whatever. They actually tried to do that with like Toriko. I remember back in the day. They was trying to group that in with like Bleach, One Piece, Naruto, and everything like that. It wasn't. I've never actually read Toriko, and I'd like to try it out one day, but it was never gonna be. You can't just throw something in the ring with those. You know what I'm saying? That's not how that works. Regardless, though, I'm behind. Matter of fact, let me pull this up. Where am I at with Kagurabachi? If I open up my Shonen Jump app, because I know it's been a minute since I actually read, but I'm definitely further than where Volume 2 leaves off. I'm on chapter 60. I am on chapter 60 out of 98, with another chapter coming 5 days from now, probably 4 days from now by the time you're seeing this video. Damn, has it really been that long since I read? Bro, you know what? Growing up, my dad always told me a couple of things, right? Like, don't be in a hurry to like be an adult and everything like that. It ain't always cracked up to be, you know, enjoy your youth, everything like that. And you know, you're gonna see like once you become an adult, like once you turn 18, once you graduate high school, whatever, you're gonna see how quickly them years fly by and everything like that. And you know, I'd like to believe that I was pretty mature for my age, always growing up, and like I wasn't one of those kids that like yeah, whatever, dad, or like nah. And whenever my dad told me some like life shit, I always listened and I always took that to heart, because the way I always saw it is that, well, my dad is my dad. I don't think he's gonna be necessarily right about everything, but there's a lot of life experience that he has that I don't. He's been my age before. I haven't been his age before. So a lot of things he's saying, especially when it comes to something like that, he probably right. So I should probably listen and like believe in that. And so one thing for sure is that like I always tried to make sure that I wasn't in a hurry, like being an adult. Now don't get me wrong, there was definitely times where it's like, bro, I'm 13, 14, like I can't go here with my friends or something like that, like, because when you're a teenager, you're gonna go through stuff like that, right? But just in terms of like, I was never in a hurry, like I can't wait to move out, I can't wait to have to pay my own bills, I can't wait to do this and that, I was like, nah, bro, I'm cool. I'm gonna sit here and live with pops for, even when I was making enough money to go live my own, I was like, I'm cool living here until I have to move out, just for my own sake. And eventually that day obviously came. But yeah, I said all that to say that he was definitely right, and I believed him when he said it, but now I'm experiencing it in real time, is that ever since I've been an adult, man, once you hit 18, 19, 20 years old, especially if you're not in college or after you go to college, I didn't go to college, those years fly by. Those days turn to weeks, those weeks turn to months, and those months turn to years very, very quickly. You blink and it's like, yo, I was just 18, what happened? You know what I'm saying? It's life come at you fast and you never get them days back. You know what I'm saying? Enjoy your youth now, because you'll never be this young ever again. You know what I'm saying? Don't take it for granted. Don't be in a rush to grow up. Adulthood ain't always cracked up to be. Don't get me wrong, it's pretty dope being grown a lot of times, but you know what's not very dope? Rent, that light bill, spending $300 on groceries every 2 weeks. That ain't lit at all. So yeah, I'm saying that because like it ain't even felt like it's been that long since I read Kagurabachi, but shit, I'm 40, 50 chapters behind. That means it's been like almost a year since I read it, if not a year, because that not even accounting for like breaks. And also I saw there's a few chapters in there where it's like chapter like point chapters, you know what I'm saying, like 59.2 and whatever. Yeah, it's probably been like a year since I actually read it. That being said, enjoy your youth and enjoy Kagurabachi. I think this is one of those series that is going to, I think when this does eventually get an anime that premieres, I think this has potential to be like on a Chainsaw Man, Jujutsu Kaisen, Demon Slayer kind of thing, where it's like another one of those like super big, popular, mainstream things that kind of take the, you know, the anime world by storm and everything like that. Because you know, it's one of those things where it got memed on at first, and then people are like, wait a minute, it's kind of, why does kind of hitting though? Like, why does kind of scratching that itch? And for me, it definitely scratches that itch. Like, clearly learns from its contemporaries and its predecessors and everything like that. Hits all the right notes for me when it comes to just like, you know, the edgy things that I like about a battle series and everything like that. Like, for me, it's just right up my alley. Like, I ain't gonna sit here and tell you like it's the most unique thing in the world or that it's like it's groundbreaker or anything like that. But if you're just somebody who's not super jaded to like a good old-fashioned battle shonen manga and like a little bit of a revenge story, and you're learning more about the main character and his background as it goes on, and then like he's trying to find out about, you know, these weapons his dad crafted who's no longer here, and all these, you know what I'm saying? It's a whole lot going on. If that sounds like something that you rock with, if you're not jaded, the type of thing, you should definitely check it out if you haven't before, because I think you thoroughly enjoy it. Now, that being said, opposite of a battle shonen, we've got volumes 10, 11, and 12 of Frieren Beyond Journey's End. I recently found out that, how do I say this? Let me start off by saying that I love Frieren, okay? I'm not up to date with the manga. Like I said, I'm not up to date with any of these manga. Like I think I say this like in every video, but like I just always have to, I clearly read, you know what I'm saying? Like I clearly read manga, maybe not nearly at the clip that I used to, because I just don't make as much time for it these days, but I love the medium. I love these stories. I love these characters. I love admiring the illustrations and exploring the themes that are in all of these, you know what I'm saying? And also it's very nostalgic a lot of the times, which we're going to touch back on that topic later, where like we was just talking about, like when you turn into an adult, you 18, 19, 20 years old, you hit them 20s and years start flying by, right? Reading all of these series kind of takes me back to those teenage years, and it kind of makes me feel warm and fuzzy inside, whatever. Like I said, we're gonna get back to that. Yeah, I say that to say, every time I do a haul video, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm not up to date on this, I ain't read that. And it's like, I've always read a lot more than I have the last time I made one of these videos. I'm just never up to date with anything whenever I make one of these videos. So it makes it seem like I be buying all this manga and not reading any of it, but I promise I do. It's just, you know what I'm saying? You have to believe me. You have to believe me. Anyway, that being said, yeah, I'm not up to date with the manga, but I absolutely love the anime. Like the anime it might be in my top 10 of all time. Like I really enjoy it that much. Okay. I was not aware that like Frieren is like the face of, how do I even like talk? If you know, you already know where I'm going to go with this, but like, this was like a whole new world that I got exposed to that I didn't even know about. There's like a lot of like really like racist and ignorant and like mentally insane people who like really like Frieren and like use Frieren profile pictures, like also like, especially on Twitter. I get, it's like it's a whole like dark twisted world of folks out there that's like really into Frieren or like use that to like push their agendas and stuff. You never, it's, you know, it's crazy. Like I seen a similar thing before, like K-On! Like you ever seen like them really like those people like on Twitter and shit, or like I guess on Reddit with like K-On! Well, I don't even know if Reddit has like profile pictures. I don't really be on Reddit, but like them motherfuckers with Reddit with K-On! Profile photos, it's like that with Frieren, but maybe even worse. I don't know how, I don't know why. Like I didn't know that was a thing. Like I was recently informed about this, and I'm like, well, that meant that like for what? Like why Frieren? Like I guess because like the demons and it's so illogical and like nonsensical to me. I can't even begin to like wrap my head around like the mental gymnastics used to use Frieren to push those types of agendas. In case it needed to be made clear, you know what I'm saying? I'm not racist, and I don't support any of that. I don't agree with any of them people or their perspectives, they opinions, their views. But it's just a really good like slice of life adventure series with a little bit of action sprinkled in with some really cool like world building and a really lovable main character and her group of friends. Like to me, like it's like, this is you know what's funny is that this ties in what I was talking about, where it's like Frieren herself, the elf, the main character of the story, is a character, if you're not familiar with Frieren at all, who she's an elf. So she lives significantly longer, like hundreds or thousands of years longer than like humans do. The story starts off, she goes on this adventure with a couple of humans and a guy who's not a human. I forget what his actual like race is or whatever. He might be like a troll or something, but basically like her companions don't live nearly as long as she does. And so what felt like their entire lives was basically like a week to her, you know what I'm saying? They all end up dying. She's like, damn, I didn't really like live in that moment. I didn't appreciate those guys. I took them for granted. And then like her closest one, like Himmel, the leader of the group, the warrior, whatever, like she realizes like the feelings that she had for him and how much she wished she would have cherished him and everything like that. And blah, blah. So you fast forward a little bit, and now she's on a new journey with a new group of friends who she is taking the time to like actually appreciate, while also reflecting on her past and everything like that. And she's like taking the time to smell the roses, you know, enjoy life and the journey that she's with and the companions that she's with and everything like that. So, you know, maybe, and you know what? Like obviously, like, I subconsciously I understood this, but I never really like said it out loud. But now that's making me realize all the more reason why I enjoy this story so much, because I just told y'all all that about, you know, making sure that you know, enjoy life as you're going through it, not be in a rush or be in such a hurry or just like taking things for granted and anything like that. And that's what this whole story is about, is like her coming to that realization. And then, you know, obviously there's more to it than just that, right? It's not like just like they're just having a regular day of life. Like there is fights going on in here. There is, you know, adventures that they're going on. But like one of the themes about that is like making sure that you don't take people or your time here for granted and everything like that. And that's what I enjoy the most about this, because that's something that I'm clearly like passionate about, and like something that like means a lot to me and something that like I think about a lot. And yeah, man, so I very much enjoy Frida and still collecting this. Like I said, we got volume 10. I guess I should give you guys a good look at these covers. We got volume 10, volume 11, I think is super dope, and volume 12. I don't know if more volumes of this are out at this point. I'm sure there might be one or two more. Yeah, this will probably end up being one of my favorite series of all time when it's all said and done. Probably my favorite ongoing series right now, I would say. Well, it'd be between this and Blue Box. This and Blue Box I really enjoy a lot, which we actually don't have any Blue Box here today. But yeah, those are probably my two favorite series that are ongoing right now that I keep up with. So yeah, we've got that. And next up we have volume 11 of Spy Family, which is funny that we are showing this volume now in this video, because I'm pretty sure this volume is right around where the anime just was. There's a new season of Spy Family out right now, and I think this is actually, this might be just a little bit ahead. I think we might be on like volume 9 or 10. It might actually be 10. Yeah, I think volume 10 is actually where the anime is right now. This might be just slightly ahead, but that being said, the current season of Spy Family is probably going to get through this material as well. It'd be crazy if it didn't. Yeah, I love Spy Family. This is another one that's like, this one, okay, it's not like freedom where, well, maybe it is. I don't know. I wouldn't know. I somehow managed to avoid stuff like this because I just be off in my own little world and my own little bubble at times. Just enjoying the things I enjoy without getting involved in, I don't know, man. I just be doing my own thing, man, collecting and reading my manga. But I do see Spy Family get like criticized a lot, and like Anya as a character get hated on a lot, which is like really weird to me. Cause like, I don't know. I guess like if, I don't know. We ain't even gonna get into it. I like Spy Family. I think it's great. I love Anya's character. I love Lloyd. I love Yor a lot. Yor's become one of my favorite like waifu characters all time. She's super dope. Just having like that strong female character in the series is always really cool. She badass. She fine as hell. You feel me? Lloyd is super cool. Anya's hilarious. I love her little adventures with Damien and all the little kids at school and everything with Becky. And I like it. Like the action in it is dope. The comedy is great. I love the artwork. I love the characters. I like everything about Spy Family, honestly. And I'm excited to see where the story continues to go and just how long it runs for, because I mean, it's got to end eventually, but this is one of them series where it's just like, I kind of just want this to go on forever. Cause like, I feel like, you know, these little like adventures of like Anya and stuff, and then like, you know, all the different missions that Lloyd and Yor are going on, and them trying to keep their identities from each other. Like, this is something that you could definitely drag out for like a very, very long time. Like, I don't know if that's, like I said, I have no clue how long the story is going to go on for, but like if this went on for like 50 to 100 volumes, like I could very easily see that. Like, obviously all good things that come to an end eventually, and I don't think there's going to be a series that's that long, but if it did go on that long, I don't think I'd personally be mad at it. But that's just me. I could just see this being like one of those where it just leans more to the slice of life kind of thing, and like they just kind of start putting like the main plot line on the back burner for a while, and just like continue to push it further and further and further. But not everybody would be happy about that, but I wouldn't mind. But that's Spy Family volume 11. And then next up, we actually have a manga that came out years ago that I never got around to picking up, and I know about it. I don't remember if I ever like sat down and actually read the start to finish. I know the premise of it, so like I basically get the gist of what happens. But we have Dragon Ball, That Time I Got Reincarnated as Yamcha, which is like a Dragon Ball spin-off manga that's officially published by Viz, where basically, well, I'll just read you the blurb on the back. A Dragon Ball fan's greatest dream is getting to live in the Dragon Ball universe and fight alongside Goku and his friends. Who wouldn't love to be a Dragon Ball character? One particular fan thinks he's living the dream when he suddenly dies and is reborn in the Dragon Ball world, but he's in for a rude awakening when he realizes he's been reincarnated as everyone's favorite punching bag, Yamcha. So basically, in this story, there's like what's supposed to be a guy in the real world, he dies and he wakes up as Yamcha. Like he's in Dragon Ball and he wakes up as Yamcha. Now he's a huge Dragon Ball fan, so he knows the story of Dragon Ball and he knows how weak Yamcha is in Dragon Ball Z, but he knows what's gonna happen in the story. So he starts training up and turns into a badass, you know what I'm saying? And like doesn't let Yamcha die until like the Cybermen, for example. And like, you know what I'm saying? He starts changing history and like making Yamcha kind of be him. From what I've heard, like I actually haven't read this yet, but from what I hear, he actually does like train and like isn't, you know what I'm saying? Not that Yamcha didn't train, but because he knows the story of Dragon Ball with being a fan and stuff, he kind of like changes how Yamcha's character plays out and how the story goes. So I'm assuming that he's just like way stronger and is like, you know, handling things that Yamcha normally would not handle. It's pretty short from what I can tell. I mean, like if I'm flipping open, it's like not even a full 200 pages. It looks like it's about 140ish, 150, which is a lot shorter than like your regular tankobon, which is usually like 180 to 200 pages. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this. I picked this up. I meant to pick this up like when it first came out and I never got around to it, but we finally did. Last but not least, we have one more series that is actually a new addition to the collection, and it's one that has been a long time coming. I think I mentioned earlier about like nostalgia and everything like that, and saying that we get back around to it. And yeah, we're gonna touch on that a little bit with this series. But up next, we have a series that like I've wanted to collect for quite some time, but it has been out of print, I believe, for quite a while. It's a series that like, it's decently popular. Like a lot of people know about this and like it and have read it. I never have, even though I've always wanted to. And it's illustrated by a certain mangaka who is working to this day and people think is incredible. I also think he's incredible, and has a series that's still ongoing right now that he's not the writer of, but he's the illustrator of. Might be able to know where I'm going with this. But yeah, this series was always like really rare and hard to get. And if you did find volumes on eBay, they'd be like all, you know, scattered or whatever, like spread apart. Or if you found the entire collection, it could cost you upwards of $1,000 or more to get the entire series. But much to my surprise and to my satisfaction, it recently got a reprint that's currently in production, and I got a bunch of those volumes in here today. I'm talking about, if you haven't figured it out by now, none other than Shield 21. Yeah. Story by Riichiro Inagaki, art by none other than Yusuke Murata, who is hailed as like one of the greatest like artists of this generation, right? A lot of people have Murata as like one of those like upper echelon, super top tier illustrators, and understandably so, because his artwork is absolutely incredible. But yeah, like I said, this is a story that I always wanted to get into, but I never did, especially because like I'm just such like a physical collector when it comes to stuff like this, especially when it comes to like these older series. This to me, I've never read Shield 21, and I know a little but not a lot about it, where basically it's like this nerdy kid who like gets bullied and stuff, and like he's so used to running away from his bullies that he's like really fast, and so he ends up on the football team, which I never thought about this until just this moment. How common is American football in Japan? High schools got football teams out there? Because this is about American football, but like, he is a Japanese kid, right? Yeah, Seno Kobayakawa, you know what I'm saying? I don't imagine he living in America, but maybe he's a Japanese kid who lives in America. I don't know. Like I said, I know a little bit about the story. Like I said, like very basic stuff, but I don't know a lot. Maybe he don't live in Japan. Nah, this is definitely Japan. I'm looking at some of these characters and I see a name, Kogahama Cupid. Nah, Captain Hasujo. Nah. He got to be in Japan. So I don't know. I never thought about that just now. Like they're playing American football in Japan. Like I'm sure it exists out there, but I just know that American football is not a particularly popular sport outside of America. Yeah, just even with being somebody who's never like read this series or watched it or anything like that, there's something like very nostalgic about it. Just holding this book in my hand, just when it comes to like the cover and the font and the characters and their designs and everything like that, even just like the spine art, it makes me feel like I said, like that younger aging and like a kid again, and it just kind of like just gives me like that warm fuzzy feeling. Even just like flipping through some of the pages and just kind of like seeing some of the illustrations, like it kind of just looks like old school. Like I'm such a sucker for like that late 90s early 2000s like kind of style and vibe and everything like that, because obviously to me that's the golden age, because that's what I grew up on, you know what I'm saying? Like that's what I fell in love with and why I'm here today doing what I'm doing and why I have what I have, you know what I'm saying? That comes as a shock to literally nobody, right? And this is that. So even just like looking at like the cover art, like it just yeah, it just gives you that feeling, bro. And just like looking at the spine as well. That's another thing about these ones as well. I will at times have very like superficial reasons for wanting to get into a series when it comes to manga. They always say don't judge a book by its cover, but like, come on. Well, especially when we talk about manga, like manga is a very visual medium, so you are definitely going to judge a book by its cover, right? And the volumes always looked so cool for iShield 21 that it's always been one of the biggest selling points for me as to why I want to get into it. And I've also always heard that it's really, really good. It's drawn by Yusuke Murata. It's, you know what I'm saying? Like it's from like what I consider like the golden age of manga and everything like that. So it's a story that like I know I'm very confident I'm going to enjoy. Also, I like sports series. I haven't read a lot of them, but you know, Kuriko's Basketball, I love. Slam Dunk's one of my favorite manga of all time. Ahi no Sora, I really enjoyed that anime. A lot of basketball normally. I'm much more of a basketball guy. Hikaru no Go, that's a sports series that I would say is, you know, it's a board game, but it's sports, you know what I'm saying? So I love sports series, so I'm like very confident I'm gonna enjoy this. And this is just something I've always wanted to have on my shelf just because I think the spines look incredible, the volume covers look dope, and I'm sure I'm going to absolutely love this story. Now, I also mentioned earlier that I might have some information about a little bit of a special prize for you guys and a little bit of a giveaway. So what's interesting about this, and I have more volumes here to show you that we'll go through, is that all these other volumes I picked up from like Crunchyroll and like Amazon. Those are basically my two go-to places to purchase manga. You guys, if you've been around long enough, you know I used to be a big Right Stuff guy. RightStuffAnime.com used to be where I got all my stuff, but they were a couple of years ago now, I guess, bought up by Crunchyroll or like merged with Crunchyroll or whatever. And so now it's just the Crunchyroll store is just like, you know, Right Stuff doesn't exist. It's kind of just all part of one thing, which is cool, whatever. I don't mind it too much. I was really like hesitant at first, like what's what I'm looking for. I was really apprehensive. There we go. It took me a second. Goodness gracious, my English teacher would be so disappointed in me. My vocabulary has gotten so much worse as I've gotten older, man. it's that brain rot from social media, man. I'm trying to tell you. But I was really apprehensive, but I'm happy to say that when it comes to the pricing and like the shipping and everything, like they still have mostly held up since taking over Right Stuff. Although I still kind of feel like Right Stuff was a little bit better, especially when it comes to customer service. We're not gonna get into that right now. However, when I heard about iShield 21 getting a reprint, I was looking around to see where I could pick up the volumes. I heard that the reprint was out, and it is. You see, like this is a new volume with like the new Shonen Jump, like the modern Shonen Jump logo on this. I can get this camera to focus on the spine real quick. There we go. With the modern Viz logo at the bottom and the Shonen Jump logo up top, right? This volume was printed, 6th printing. Yeah, damn, only the 6th printing. iShield 21 never got that many prints. 6th printing, May 2025. So I was looking around, Amazon, Crunchyroll, whatever, my usual places, nowhere had it. I started like looking it up on Twitter, trying to find like the iShield 21 reprint, and I came across a little shop known as Merry Manga. And it was the first and only place I saw that had this reprint. So big shout out to the Merry Manga company, because I was thoroughly impressed with my shipment. If you're a manga collector, you guys know that it's really disappointing when you buy manga, whether it's like from eBay or Amazon or whatever, like, and it just gets shipped in like an envelope or like a little bubble mail or whatever. Like volumes get like dinged up, corners get bent, pages torn, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm somebody who's not like super picky, you know what I'm saying? I know some people are like way more picky than I am, but like, you know, I am gonna have a problem if like my manga is damaged to a certain degree. Like, you know, a little bit of like wear on the corners or whatever is like, it's no big deal if there's like a little nick here, a little ding there, whatever. But like, I've gotten some damaged stuff before, and like, nah, I had to get in contact with customer service. Like, this isn't acceptable. Like, I'm gonna need a refund or an exchange or whatever. When I tell you that this shipment from Merry Manga Company was the most well-packed package I have ever received, I wish that I hadn't opened it so that I could open it up for you guys here for the first time and show you just how well they pack their stuff. I'm gonna put their Twitter up here, and as well a link in the description down below to the website, because not only was the packing exceptional with how well they packed it, they also pride themselves on like making sure they ship you volumes that are in immaculate condition. You're gonna see as we go through, we can start going through these now. I've been sitting here holding volume 1 the entire time, but I've got volumes 1 through 11 because I think that's what's available right now in the reprint. You're gonna see that each and every single one of these volumes is in absolute pristine condition, which you expect and should be like the standard when you're buying brand new manga, but it's not always the case. But like I inspected these very well, and they're all in absolutely immaculate condition. And oh my god, just look at this artwork, man. This artwork is incredible. I can't wait to sink my teeth in this. I'm gonna tell you now, I want to read this so bad, and this is the reason why I've been reading One Piece again lately. You know what I'm saying? Like obviously I have an obligation, that's why I've been reading One Piece, but me wanting to read this so bad is why I got back on my shit with reading One Piece, because I was like, I can't in good faith start reading another series when I've been slacking on reading One Piece. So I gotta go get through some volumes of One Piece if I want to start reading anything else. Like I owe that to myself and to the people who supported me in order to get those volumes in the first place, to read more of that before I start, you know what I'm saying? Like, where do I get off? So that's how I felt. And so I was like, nah, we gotta read some One Piece, which I ain't mad at, but I want to read this so bad, it motivated me to read more One Piece. Does that make sense? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, but I was very, very impressed with the shipping from them and the condition of each and every single one of these volumes. I was so impressed actually that I ended up reaching out to them via Twitter, and the actual owner of the shop was the one who responded to me. I believe his name is Carl. And this shop is fairly new. I believe I read like their information section on the website and everything like that. And I think he just opened up the shop in like 2022. And I reached out to him and I was like, well, I didn't know it was going to be the owner that responded to me. But I was like, hey, I just wanted to commend you guys, the team over there, for such an incredible job with my order. I was like thoroughly impressed with how well it was packed, everything like that, blah, blah, blah. I greatly appreciate it. Also, by the way, I'm a YouTuber and a streamer who, like, you know, from time to time I like make these manga haul videos, everything like that. I wanted to know if you guys have like any sort of creator program, like rewards thing or whatever. Maybe you guys got some promotions going on. I'd love to tell my viewers about the shop, blah, 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 which is not something that I normally do. It's extremely rare that I ever reach out to a brand or company, because it's just not something I'm really all that comfortable with, to be completely honest. And it's like, you know, there's usually not that many people that I want to work with, but manga is obviously something that I'm very passionate about, something that I care a lot about. And it's honestly what I built this channel up off of in the beginning. Like, I was originally a manga YouTuber, you know what I'm saying? Before I made daily Dragon Ball FighterZ content, and that's what, you know, really catapulted me. But like, it started off as a manga channel, to keep it a buck. And you know, the owner responded and was like, hey, you know, we're still relatively small, experiencing a lot of growth, blah, blah, blah. We don't have like a, you know, creator program or anything like that. However, what I could offer you, if it would interest you and your viewers, is a giveaway, to where you could pick 1 or 2 winners and we could give them, you know, a prize, and we can get them some free manga. So what we're going to do is a little bit of a giveaway, and all you have to do is go to my Twitter page, follow me on Twitter, and retweet the post that is pinned in the comments under this video. And we'll say on Saturday. So on Saturday, on November 8th, I will pick one lucky winner who will receive basically what's going to happen is you'll get a code that will allow you to get about $40 worth of free manga on the website, with free shipping as well. So if you go down to Twitter, you retweet the post. That's going to be a post of me putting the link in the thumbnail of this video on Twitter. If you go follow me there, retweet this, I'll be picking somebody on Saturday to be a lucky winner who can get $40 worth of free manga from Merry Manga Company, because I'd like to support them. They appreciated me reaching out, whatever. So yeah, I think that'll be pretty fun. Continuing on though, we have volumes 6 through 11 left to show, and again, I'm so infatuated with these covers and these spines, man. I love it. I love it a lot. But yeah, huge shout out to Merry Manga Company for hitting me back. I followed them on Twitter, they followed me back, and even bigger shout out for them offering to do something, because that was very generous, because they didn't have to do that. They could have just been like, first of all, they could have ignored me, which I've definitely been ignored before, which is another reason why I don't really be reaching out, because half the time when I do, I just get left on red anyway. But you know, you miss 100% of the shots that you don't take. Worst they can say is no, I guess. But they very well could have said like, nah, we ain't got no creator program, we ain't got nothing going on, and you know, screw you, which is not what I expected. But you know, I wasn't sure I would get a reply at all. Just in case it wasn't clear, by the way, like, just for the record, they're not paying me to promote Merry Manga Company or anything like that. Like, they didn't reach out to me at all. Like, I reached out to them. You know what I'm saying? I was looking for iShield21. I came across their Twitter page, found their shop. And like I said, it's a small shop right now, but they are growing quite a lot, and they offer pretty competitive pricing. Like, you're going to find manga volumes on there cheaper than you get them on like Amazon, or like buying from a brick and mortar store like Books A Million or Barnes and Noble or something like that. So like I said, they're not paying me or nothing. I just think it's a cool shop. I liked my first time experience with them, so I figured I'd shout them out and then hit them up, and then that's how we end up with a little giveaway. So like I said, you know, just go ahead, retweet the tweet, and I'll pick somebody on the 8th, and yeah, I'll see ya. Anyway, back to the video. But yeah, that was really cool of them. Volume 8, Volume 9. I think at this time, volumes 12 through 18 might be available, or are going to be available sometime in November. I think I saw them tweet about it. I kind of forgot. A lot of the new print volumes will be available in November. I'm pretty sure is what I remember seeing. We have volume 11. Bro, these covers are insane, dog. Like, I love it. Yeah, I love it. I love it. Love it. I love it. I love it. This is a thumbnail shot right there. I ain't even gonna lie, with the bokeh in the background and everything like that. Yeah, man, come on, son. This is incredible. This is incredible. I cannot wait to read this, bro. I'm so excited. But yeah, and that is everything that I picked up recently as far as manga goes, and everything that I had here to show in this video. So like I said, I was very impressed with Merry Manga Company. And I'd love to see them become like the next Right Stuff or something like that. Not necessarily meaning that they end up merging with Crunchyroll as well, but I'd love to see the shop continue to grow and everything like that. And who knows? Maybe in the future we might have some sort of partnership, collaborations, other things that we could do, giveaways. Who knows? This could be the start of a beautiful friendship with a up and coming manga shop. And I would love that. So yeah, I think that's gonna do it for me today. You guys let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Hit this video with a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you haven't already, so you can stay tuned for all this content that I'm bringing you. With all that being said, that's pretty much all I have today. Remember, nothing can happen to you, swing the bat. Later.